guys are hurting me.
Thank you all for coming. We know that for many people, this is that where y'all may be.
Just stand.
We know for a lot of people, this has been a tough way to come up, and we appreciate it on behalf of our parents. And this is actually very much a group effort tonight. Although I'm speaking, everybody I'm sure will have a chance to say things. We want them to. But the first person who actually said something to me about this was Janet right here, who said, you know, your parents' anniversary is coming up a year from now. You really should think about something nice for them. And Wendy, I have to say, was the one who really translated that into action and moved us along. So I would like to thank them and Anne, who did the invitations and really helped a lot in the organization and planning. Eileen was a huge help in terms of you know, figuring out how to do what to do. And Jamie here has agreed to pay for everything. It's just great tonight. So I would like to thank everyone here who had made this happen has come today. And Mom and Dad, as you may know, had a very quiet and intimate wedding. And we decided they just wanted to try it out and see how it worked for 50 years. So now we've discovered that it worked pretty well. We thought, what the heck, let's have a little bit bigger celebration for their anniversary. So Mom, Dad, thank you so much for having me. And all of us. Happy anniversary.
Thank you. Thank you one and all.
And you know who introduced us.
What's that?
And you know who introduced us.
What's that? Oh yes, I should have acknowledged that. Yes. Two special, well several people. Uncle Gordon for coming all the way up. And Uncle Jerry and Aunt Carol for bringing him up. And Aunt Carol and Uncle Jerry who actually made all this possible. In fact, as we drove here this morning, I explained to my children that if it hadn't been for Uncle Jerry and Aunt Carolyn, I wouldn't be here, which meant they wouldn't be.
That's quite true.
I'll start it out. I've had few achievements in life, but let us toast that as one of the very finest anybody could have. And that we've all lived to see it.
Say something. James has a few words he'd like to say. Say how much you're happy to be here.
I'm happy to be here. It's a good thing Bruce is here because you're a spokesperson. I went to the wedding on yesterday, and it's kind of symbolic to go through the whole process, going to the wedding, and now realizing you're having your anniversary. I'm happy to be here.
I guess I'll just say, you know, you guys are an inspiration for all the married folk about how to stick together for 50 years and having kids and raising them. And I'm so glad that you guys are at a stage in your relationship now without the kids, and you guys are going to travel and enjoy each other. And you guys are in a really great place in your relationship. It's wonderful to see how you evolve since I've known you.
Since I've known you too.
Thank you, I think.
I don't think I introduced you.
Hey, Dad, when you start the vlog, it'd be great, man.
What? Huh?
Kermit the Vlog.
Kermit the Vlog.
Where it went.
Does somebody have any little toes?
Any memories? Anybody want to share?
Yeah, I'd like to say something.
Good.
We're going to say it.
I really appreciate all of this, all of the effort put into it on the part of my children, and I appreciate the fact that all of you took the time, patience, and effort to come all the way up to Nevada City to help us celebrate. Thank you very much.
I said to Uncle Jerry that it's like herding cats. He said, nah, it's worse. It's like herding geese.
I too would like to thank all of you for coming and to say that it's probably the fastest 50 years I've ever seen. And we have 4 beautiful children, 2 very handsome son-in-laws, 2 very pretty daughters-in-law, and we just couldn't be at 6 gorgeous grandchildren. So to all of you, thank you.
I just hope the next 50 don't go as fast.
Beautiful grandchildren.
Oh, you forgot the grandchildren.
I
Jay, what do you have to say for yourself?
I'm
Stand up.
so glad that Owen and Uncle got married because if they didn't, then all of us wouldn't be here. Thanks to the city. Happy anniversary, man. Happy anniversary.
All right.
Gary has something to read. I have something to read.
I've been elected to this position.
I was
Virginia Pike asked me to do this.
Gary, wait, Gordon wants to say something.
No, go ahead. I was told I had to tell a story.
You do.
The most interesting story I can think of was when Jim and I were in junior college. He and I went to junior college. Oh, I knocked it off. Because he was whether he was held back for 2 terms. Roosevelt's and Truman's. And when we were in junior college in 1947 or 48, I'm not sure which, he was in charge of a committee to decorate the dance in October. And they got this beautiful, very beautiful decorations, colorful decorations. Unfortunately, they were all poison oak. And he had the worst case of poison oak I've
He has to think about it.
to think about it. Later. Moving on.
Later.
Gary, you're up.
I've been asked to read this little story by Virginia Pike. And this is about an old joke that Jim told to her many years ago. She probably doesn't remember at this point, but anyway, this is the way it went. There was an old Bavarian clockmaker who had handcrafted a beautiful, tall oak hall clock. You know what they look like, the great big guys. He'd rubbed the oak to a high gloss, polished the brass pendant so it shined beautifully as it swung back and forth, fashioned the intricate mechanical interior of the clock all by hand, and then when he was finished, he moved it to his foyer. He carefully put the brass key in, turned the clock, started it up once, and instead of going tick-tock, tick-tock, it went tick, tick, tick. He drew a glove out of his leather jacket and slapped the clock across the face, saying, "We have ways of making you talk."
It only ticked.
Is Dad tipped about the joke?
Okay, so I have a toast to Jim and Pat for their welcoming nature and the way they're always open to new people coming in. They've certainly made, I think, the rest of all the new members of the family feel very welcome, and it's a hallmark of your love and generosity that you can open your heart so warmly to all of us. So,
Wow.
happy anniversary.
Well,
It's true, they made me feel welcome.
I would like to make a toast to my brother and sister-in-law, and they have been so supportive. I mean, they've always been good friends, and we feel so fortunate because you don't always have that with family, but they have been so supportive during the last 5 years that it's made it possible for us to get along so well. So thank you. And happy anniversary.
Down into the Auburn Ravine to get green greens doesn't.
You're the decider.
Huh?
You're the decider. You're the decider. You decide who gets.
I sent them down to get green stuff, that's all.
Green stuff.
Brought it back and they started decorating the arbor and I pitched in to help. None of us recognized it as poison oak. All of the kids are from this area. They know poison oak. Actually, Stoddard, one of the instructors at the college, came in and said, "You guys found the only place in sumac in the whole area."
Oh, sumac. Oh my gosh, that's worse.
We didn't know it was poison sumac.
To the decider.
Did you get to the dance?
To the decider.
To the decider.
It's kind of funny, but it's very
That's great.
Family, I'm honored to be a part of this. I've never been a part of a big family like this, and it's cool to have all these brothers and sisters and sister-in-laws and all the rest of the stuff. I'm finding out about cousins and nieces and all of that stuff now, so it's all good, and I salute you for 50 years. It's fantastic to have that happen, and it's wonderful to have be a part of it. Thank you, Gary.
Now, was that on behalf of the
Yeah.
This happens before we were born, so you gotta tell us what's really going on.
Good story.
Now, I can't really tell this story because I've forgotten the details, and the person that would remember it best is Jim. Now, Jim, would you like to tell about up at our house when Phil got the idea to push the refrigerator back into the closet of the next room, and you were holding the fridge and Phil was doing something with the saw? And
Sounds like a good story.
wires.
I don't remember it, but forget that. Bill tried to cut through a live electric line, is that what you're talking about?
What do you mean, try?
I mean, did the sparks fly across?
Did the sparks fly? So did Phil.
Well, that's my contribution, the unforgettable.
Oh, that was,
That's it here. It's a
that was
spark
actually a
fly.
rather shocking experience.
Dad, you like those puns, don't you?
Okay.
TikTok.
1956, you and Mary Shea and I were going to go to Europe together in the summer. And we talked about the plans to go to Europe on a UC tour. And then all of a sudden Pat said, "I'm not going." We didn't know why, but when we were off somewhere, Mary and I, we went on, we got a telegram saying we were married. That's why she didn't go to Europe with us in 1956. Good decision. Good decision.
And I'm glad that trip to Europe was good run.
Introducing the city girl to the farm, I want to thank Jim for introducing me to sidewinders. And if you don't know what a sidewinder is, you ask him.
What's a sidewinder, Dad?
What's a sidewinder?
Cocktail.
So where did you introduce them? Do you remember like how that happened?
Yeah.
Well, I think what the actual way was that Pat and I were sorority sisters. And Jim, I don't, since I had been engaged to Jerry. And we were married at that time and starting law school. And I thought of how we could fix them up. I thought they would be a perfect match. And so, yes, so we had so we set them up on a blind date, and I think there was some...
we like that. All their own.
I can't remember if that was the occasion of the misunderstanding about restaurants or not. You remember that one? Yeah, well, I don't know if that was that night or not, but we had a lot of fun all the way along the line. And the main thing is, it just took.
Where was it? What physically did they?
San Francisco.
It was a restaurant on the end, right?
That was our second date.
Oh,
What was the first one?
Sam's Chuck.
Sam's Chuck Wagon.
Oh, yeah. We always
I think I can
go there the next time. And that's where he proposed we live there all the time.
Monroe.
It's no longer there, but it's no longer.
It's right at the end of the cable car lot.
Thank goodness you had the vision to,
Really?
It was because they both had red hair, right?
May your
It's a
plots,
once in a lifetime achievement.
may all your plots be as successful as that one.
Kind of run out of,
Yeah, beyond that. Besides that.
We had a lot of meetings with teachers.
This is not about us, this is about you.
And unfortunately, fun started, so then the next 2 years, they'd have another one and they'd say, oh, and then 1 year, we had all 4 of them at Lincoln Elementary.
oh my.
And they were struggling.
And they ultimately found out the cost.
What was the cost?
The cost of that wonderful fertility mask that Anna brought from South America.
I think it was Bruce, if I'm not mistaken, I might be mistaken. One of the teachers retired and went to Ethiopia right after Bruce went through his class.
He kind of followed it.
Well, you know, established.
Well, let's see.
Tell us more about the wedding. What went on at the wedding? Because we weren't there.
We weren't either.
That doesn't make any difference. You don't need it.
We were married at the church in the way there, and by Dr. Gray, and he was very interested in dad's last work. And so he said, oh, the milkman's out there now, would you please tell us about it? So I'm standing there like this, saying, come on, let's do that to myself. And they must have thought I was so
He was a pain in the butt.
He really was.
We did what you asked him to, right?
Huh?
You did what you were supposed to do, which is get you
Well,
married.
he did the function, but then he wanted, yeah.
Who was your maid of honor, Pat?
Even my mother was there. And her best friend. Louisa was very, very important.
So, 50 years later, look what it's turned into.
Well, I asked Jim one time about it. I said, what was the defining moment? He says, when I heard the clicking of the shotgun.
My mother was a good shot.
Actually, she paid him the ultimate compliment just a few years before she died. She said, he's a good son.
Yeah, she definitely agreed to love it.
It was not that way.
Took her a while to come around.
Well, she warms up slowly. What can you say?
I'm a carnivore by nature.
I haven't done any love
Don't threaten me with that.
There you go.
Oh, thank you.
Right, well,
Now I think we're supposed to take the first cut, so you determine where it goes. Right there. All the way to the bottom.
This is the one we're going to
And that's it.
Okay, now I want to get that.
wow, I'm going to get a...
Well done.
Oh, I've got a lot of experience doing this.
And she was very worried about that. I mean, I was speaking the first Very good.
You have to feed each other, don't you?
Yes, we did.
All right.
Good job, sir. Good job.
Again with cross forks here.
You're gonna cut the rest of it now, huh?
Gonna have to.
You don't have to do the rest.
Oh yeah, I do. Because nobody wants that toothpick.
No, you guys don't have to do the cake. They're supposed to be ice cake.
What do you bring that back over
Because
here?
they said they didn't get the picture of us doing it.
Are we doing it again?
Yeah, we'll do it again.
Now wait, are you ready? Oh, you gotta wait.
He's got money, I was gonna put his. Oh, you're gonna do, oh, no, that's.
All right, I'll get one picture, get a picture of each other. I will take pictures, okay? Now, wait a minute, you got it.
Pat, this is your one chance to wish it this face.
I know, I think you're right, you don't wanna do it. Oh, God.